Can meat go bad if it's frozen for too long? Raw feeders want their pets' food to be as fresh and nutrient-dense as possible. But unless we go out and get the perfect amount of fresh meat our pets need each day, we're going to have to freeze some meat at some point. Could long freezing times diminish the meat's quality and nutritional integrity, though? Freezing food has been one of the most optimal ways of preservation because it prevents the growth of microorganisms that cause spoilage. According to the USDA's guidelines on freezing, storing at a constant temperature of 0 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 17 degrees Celsius will always keep the food safe from spoilage. But what happens to the nutrients and overall quality of the meat? You may have noticed some visual changes in some raw meats after being frozen for a while or after being exposed to oxygen. Does this mean it's spoiled, though? Color changes are usually more apparent in red meats like beef. When bought fresh, the meat is very vibrant and rich in myoglobin. But once it's exposed to oxygen or ages in the freezer, this can lead to oxidation and the formation of metmyoglobin, which is where the iron in myoglobin oxidizes and creates a brownish color. This isn't an indicator that it's gone bad, it's just the myoglobin losing its vibrance. In general, as long as it doesn't smell bad, it's still safe to feed. Well, what about freezer burn? Freezer burn may make the food's texture or flavor a little less desirable for us humans, but it doesn't make much difference for our pets. Freezer burn happens when high moisture foods, like raw meat, freeze quickly, which results in the moisture crystallizing and evaporating in this frozen state. This dehydrates the meat a bit and can affect its appearance and texture, but does this make it unsafe to feed? No. Now, how long can it actually be frozen before losing its nutrient quality? According to the USDA, the freezing process itself does not destroy nutrients in raw meat, and that foods frozen at 0 degrees Fahrenheit or below will retain vitamin content, color, flavor, and texture. However, I did question this a little. I recently found a study done in September of this year that discussed the underlying mechanisms and implications of protein oxidation during freezer storage. And what I learned actually caught me off guard a little. We currently know that when meats freeze and thaw, moisture and myoglobin seeps out of the meat, and many water-soluble nutrients are in this juice. Humans don't drink this, so the nutritional loss seems greater when looking at it from a human's perspective. With raw feeding, it's always encouraged to add this back into the meal, so nutrient loss isn't as great in this circumstance. However, the study also discusses amino acids and oxidative modifications that can deactivate their positive charge, as well as their bond to the protein. This results in changes in the protein's structure and can modify nutrient availability, especially for the essential amino acids cysteine and methionine. Oxygen is the main culprit for this, but membrane rupture caused by ice crystals can accelerate oxidation when frozen. What this ultimately means is that when freezing, protein oxidation may negatively affect the nutritional value of the meat. Am I worried after reading this? Not necessarily, but it's something worth being aware of when freezing and storing your pet's meat. Here is a suggestion on how long certain meats should be frozen before losing some physical and nutritional integrity per the USDA. Learning all of this information will hopefully give you an idea on what you feel comfortable with when it comes to your meat storage. Because as you can see, not every answer is black and white. When you start meal prepping, you may find yourself feeling lost or a bit intimidated. Watch this video for some meal prep tips.